Previously, I've created a working inventory system. The player could till the ground with a hoe. This didn't work perfectly, but this week I managed to fix it. Finished the farming mechanic, fixed some bugs related to growing crops, and created a working water mill. My name is Matthew, welcome to GameDev Week. Let's get started. Last time I noticed that tilling the ground wasn't perfect. A different tile would be highlighted even though the player is standing somewhere else. The reason was that the player's position was not being updated continuously. I was also missing some character animations. So I created those and imported it into Construct 3. And now it looks and feels way more responsive. I then proceeded to make the watering can work. I've created some particles and recycled some animations, and I just hoped that it would look okay. And yeah, it did. I was feeling good so far, because it was all smooth sailing, until I had to implement growing the plants. That ended up being a pretty big time sink. So normally after 12 AM, the seeds would check if the soil is containing water. If the soil passes that check, it would increase the plant's score. And if the soil is not wet, then the plant would lose some quality because it's drying out. But here's the thing, some of the plants and seeds didn't grow, even though it was on watered soil. And other times, the soil would never dry out, or the animations wouldn't update correctly. And some plants would grow even though the soil was dry. After a whole evening of troubleshooting, I decided to isolate the problem the next morning by creating a new project and recreating the growing mechanic in a very basic but similar way. And I made it work within an hour. Why didn't I come up with this earlier? At least I got my dopamine boost and I was happy with the end result. So it all ended well, I guess. At this point, I didn't have enough time to work on some cooking gameplay, so I opted to create a working windmill. I already created an exterior, but the interior didn't exist yet, so I made one in Figma. I wanted to add in some moving parts as well, so I created a moving shaft with a rotating cogwheel, a flower bin, and also an elevator for the player to put weed on. I put it all together in Construct 3, added some logic, and as a tiny detail, I added some tufts of grass here and there, and this is the result of nearly a month's work. Honestly, I'm very happy with how it's going. Although I wasn't able to work on some cooking gameplay this week, I plan on doing so in the next week, and I think it will keep me busy for at least a week, because I want to create little mini games involving a rolling pin, flipping a pan, a knife, and lots and lots of button mashing. So definitely look forward to that. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.